Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Tuesday, September the 5th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Increasing luck with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and different from Walmal's. Walmal, I read an article over the past couple of days that's basically said if you want to increase your luck, then you have to basically increase the number of times you play, or you get in a trade, or whatever you're doing. It takes luck because, for example, if you have a system and say 1 out of 20 times the system pays off big, well, then you need to be in all 20 trades, because you don't know which one's going to pay off big. It could be the first, the last, or one of the ones in the middle.
You don't.
Yeah.
It's funny because you told me that's what you have been talking about over the last week or so, and actually we talked about it a bunch over the year apparently, and it spurred me to go and actually when I hear about talking about a particular term, I want to know what that term actually means. So I looked up the dictionary term of it, and luck is defined as the chance happening of fortunate or adverse events. In other words, your fortune. And how do we go and apply that to trading? And the way I look at it in terms of trading is simply this. The reality is that, if you think about it, if you're smart and if you're put in hard work and you go to the job and you work there and do everything you're supposed to, more than likely, not absolutely, but more than likely, you'll do well on that job. There's some other things that can go and play into that. For instance, there could be someone there who personality just doesn't click with yours, and because of that, no matter how hard you work, you just don't click in and you just don't do well at that corporation. Or you can have the other effect as well, where you don't put in the hard work, but it's an old boys club, as they say, and just because of that, you just rise up just because of the old boys club, but for the most part, that's what happens on a job. In trading, we don't have that. We don't have that. You can sit there and study every chart. You can read every book that's out there on trading. You can become the most, proficient person there is about every single method that's ever been devised. You can know everything there is to know about risk management, everything there is to know, about money management, everything that you need to know about psychology. But the reality is, you can still have all that information and execute it even perfectly and still be on the losing end. And that's the thing that sets us apart as traders, and that's what is so frustrating about trading sometimes, because there's just a part of it we're not in control of. Now you say, okay, well, that's a doomsday message. Why would you even bother, right? That to me, that just seems like you're just gambling, and when you gamble, you usually lose because the game is rigged against you. And believe me, there's some things that happen with any market where it's kind of gamed against you, and the reason why is because on every trade there's three parties involved. There's you, the buyer, the person who sells it to you, and the guy who sits in the middle who does the transaction. And so the guy who sits in the middle taking the transaction, he's going to want to take as much of that as he can, and he had nothing to do with the trade, so he's going to go and this is a little bit of rigging there that nothing you can do about it. You just got to understand what's happening, but that's just part of trading. So I say all this, and you said something at the beginning of the video that I think is very, very important, and that is you got to take all the trades. Because here's the thing, here's the good news about it. If you've got a system in place, and when I say system, I mean risk, I mean money management, and I mean method, and then when I say method, I delineate that to an entry mechanism and an exit mechanism. If you got all those things in place, then what will happen is, in the long run, you will make money. You may not make money this hour, or this day even, or even this week, but in the long run, you will make money. And that's where what you're doing is, the reality is every time you press the buy button, or press the sell button, or press the exit button, the reality is where you get in, where you get out. You go and get to choose when you press the button. You don't get to choose what you get out with, and that's an unfortunate part about trading. But knowing that what we know, we know in the long run we'll make money. And the luck part of it is that, it's a game of chance. This particular trade is a game of chance. No question about it. I could have, in fact, Kiro, I took a trade this morning. You were there when I took the trade. I had every single thing going in my direction. I was even up 2 or 3 pips, maybe even a little bit more than I don't recall. And the market plunged on me. Luck. I went from a winning trade to a trade I had to fight my way out of. By the way, the market is exploding up for some reason.
I see that.
But in any case, that was just luck. I could have gotten out early. If I had gotten out, I was thinking about pressing the exit button. And I think I said to you, I just need three points and I'm going to get out. Because that's where my TP was set at. Well, guess what? I didn't get to 3 points, And in fact, I had to go and average in and fight my way out of it. And I got out with a profit. But the thing is, I had to go and fight at that point in time. The chance or the luck part of it was that, unfortunately, the luck part, I had the opportunity to make money, but then it went against me. And that's the thing about trading.
Yeah, it sure is. In fact, as you were saying that, look at the market. I had a trade on and I just banked 19 pips on it. I'd gotten in the trade right before the video because it's like, this just looks too good. So I'm going to stick that trade on. Because I figure it's in the launch pad. It needs to go to the 60. So that's part of getting, so it's kind of funny because that's part of getting lucky.
Right. Here's a reality too, in terms of luck. You got to be in it, to win it, as the old lottery expression goes. And every one of us needs to go, and have restroom breaks. We all need to go and walk away from the terminal because our head is clouded up. We need to go and get water or whatever. We need all those things because we're humans, we're not machines. And because of that, part of the luck comes in place. And I happen to be lucky enough to be sitting in front of the terminal, when the trade presented itself. And, that's not always the case. And, you were lucky enough to be sitting there right before we started this video, to go and say, hey, I'm sitting here and I see a bottom here. It's been running down pretty severely all day. We have 104, 105 pip day. It's probably time for it to start moving in the other direction. And sure enough, you were lucky enough, you got a signal, you took the signal, and you made a bunch of pips. But, you don't pat yourself on the back.
Oh, no, never do that. I mean,
the reality is, you did what you were supposed to do. So I guess pat yourself on the back for doing what you were supposed to do. Don't pat yourself on the back because you got pips, because I've seen complete, losers who don't know a thing about what they're doing and get a bunch of pips, And I've seen guys who I respect to one end of the earth to the other lose a bunch of pips.
Yeah, that's it's funny because I had my stop loss put in, but I didn't have a TP, and it had gone up about on the 1 minute chart. I don't even remember where I entered. I think I entered somewhere around 44. And then it ran up to 50, and then it came all the way back and actually turned a winner into a loser. And I just said, well, I got my stop loss down at 25, and I don't think it's going to get there. I should have an opportunity to exit with the profit, and sure enough, I did. And that's just one of those ones where, you just can't be greedy.
Right. Take what you can when you can. Just as a highlight to the traders, because I know that some have asked about this. If you look at the candle 1, 2, 3, 4, That was the second big up candle on the M1, and that was, return bar, and it ran up. The body of the candle was 10 pips, so that on an M1 chart, that certainly goes in, makes it a return bar. And if you notice that it then went above it and it came back into the body of that candle, that is a short at that point in time, because there's a good chance it's going to go and run back down to the open of that candle at some point. But again, the way I play it is, and I did not take the trade because I was yakking at the time, but the thing is, the midpoint of that candle would have been at 61.4, and if you notice, we're 61.4. You got those 2 weeks in a row, and it just kept on rejecting it, and then finally it went and broke through. The reason why I get out at that midpoint is because here's again talking about luck.
Yeah.
It could either go and reject off of it and then continue on its way up to 75, or it could go back down to the open. I don't know which it's going to do. So that's how you go and play luck sometimes, because you know what the market likes to do. You know the two choices, okay? And it's the type of thing where I don't have any reason to be in the trade anymore, other than the fact that it still wants to go and complete that return bar. And that's not a good enough reason for me to stay in the trade. So I would have gotten out, taken my 5 pips, and been happy as a pig, in a load of slop. But at the same time, if I would have stuck it, I could have gotten off 10 pips. But again, that's just luck, and you take what you can. Don't be greedy. Take what you can, and just wait for the next opportunity, because there'll be another opportunity. I guarantee you that, within the next 60 minutes, there'll be another opportunity. And you take that one, and you just make sure you keep on taking them. Don't be greedy. Don't be me. And just take the pips out where you can.
Yeah, and in fact, watching this, the trade that I've been liking to take is that when the indicator 2 dots flip-flop, so we had a magenta right before that big up bar, then we had the big up bar caused an aqua, so on the close of that big up bar, just would have jumped in long, that would have been good for about 10 pips. And then just on bar 1, because bar 2 had a flip-flop from magenta to aqua, and that trade would have been worth about 5 pips. That's, Harry hindsight. Does it work every time? Of course not. But it works enough time where you can just look at the chart and you can see on those flip-flop of the dots, you can pick up, your 2 pips or more.
Right. Just keep on picking them up, and, and I think I talked about this last time, or maybe it was the time before that, just recognize that you can't win every trade. Take your losses, cut them short when you have to cut them short, or find a way to mitigate against it, and then just go and make sure you take the other opportunities as they present themselves. And then if you do that, you'll be on top. That's all that matters.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
So.
Oh, and let's see, there was a trader that had asked a question. They wanted to know the name of this template that had the Bambino Flex indicator. I named it TRO Video Pivots. So if you see a screen and you want to know the template, if that is a template that I've saved, I usually have the name in the upper right-hand corner. So, but not all of these, or maybe most of these do have, like for example, this one is not a template, so it doesn't have a name. This one's not a template. Sometimes I put these together just for demonstration purposes, and but the other ones, they do have template names. If they are a template, I'll put the template name. And the indicator that does that is the TRO template name indicator. It's a mini version of the My Notes indicator, and you can place your template name anywhere. You have to put it in there. So that's how I do it. So fellow traders, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So